welcome to our new meeting format.
Good to see everybody. I know everybody's muted now or else it'd be chaos, but we're gonna unmute you, have a great conversation. For those that didn't pick up on the email that came through, we're not gonna do Cardinal names today. We value them, but Sarah and I taped a video on them. We did our top producers for the month already, and we did all of our 103 new in October. So we're gonna make those separate videos. Are very important to us, but we want to make sure that we're just going to have conversation here, which is going to be fantastic. You can see that right there on the slide that those 3 videos are in that email that went out yesterday and this morning. So watch some of those, look for those great names out there. The other thing that I would tell you is today we're going to have a lot of market conversations. Be ready. I'm going to ask some questions for the crowd. We've also got, we've got Jason Cheperdak coming in. We've got Carolyn Young coming in. We've also got Carrie, Lindsey from Cardinal going to stop by, and then we're also going to be joined by the man, the myth, Jerry Berry on Zoom as well. So it's going to be a great show. We're going to have a discussion. I've got 4 or 5 different breaks. We're going to make sure ask questions of everybody and figure out what you're seeing out there, because that's where, you know, where I love this collaborative format is we can only be, even if I sell 15 a month, I only really know what happens with my 15 homes. You know, but if I've got 100, we can ask around. All of a sudden, we can find out a lot from each other. So, that interactive aspect of it. So,
absolutely, and we're super excited about this new format too, because many of you had a hard time getting to the office and didn't want to necessarily drive an hour, spend an hour, drive back an hour, and lose your entire day. We believe strongly in meeting you where you are, so that you can log in, join in, be part of that collaborative conversation in your car, in your kitchen while you're getting ready in the morning, just to make sure that you're getting all the information you need. So whether you watch this today with us and you engage, or whether you watch this later, we wanted to make sure that we had more of you, meeting more of you where you were. So just a couple of quick tips for a good Zoom experience. Please make sure you're raising your hand if you want to talk. We do have everybody muted, as Donnie mentioned, because we didn't want the free-for-all of 100 people trying to speak at once. I will call on you so that we can have that good engagement interaction, as well as if you've got a question or comments, please be active in the chat. If you want to just have a few words and say a few things, but maybe not necessarily ask a question or give feedback to everybody, you're welcome to do it in the chat as well. And we will read some of those out and people can watch that as they go. So we're super excited. Welcome.
Absolutely.
Welcome.
Absolutely.
Yes.
What I'd like to do is kind of get up that slide real quick, Justin. I want to make a couple quick thoughts here. The first one this week. Go ahead, Sarah.
Guys, week of giving. This is all about Samson Cares, giving back to the community. Flip to that next slide for me. I want you to stop what you're doing right now. I want you to take out your phone and I want you to click on that QR code. And then as soon as the little yellow box comes up and says, what do you want to do? I want you to click it. That is the link for our direct giving. We are trying to take care of 500 kids this holiday season.
We can do that.
We can do that. So a big shout out to 16-year-old. He's going to be 16 on Thursday.
Looks like he's like 25.
He does. He is manning our online platform for us this year, making sure that all the kids get gifts. So we have all different age brackets. We have clothing, hats, coats, gloves, socks, books, toys, all the things, stuffed animals and teddy bears, us to give to the kids this holiday season. Click on the link. It's directly off our wish list to our Samson office. Now look, all you Pat Sowers.
Pat Sowers, try out of that TV.
Sowers. So all you have to do is click on it, pay for it, ship it directly to us. Do that right now, please. If you are the kind Laura Bean that likes to go shopping and wants to go out and buy all the things in the store, you are welcome to do that and drop your gift off at any of our Samson offices this week, and they will give it to the local shelters, the local food pantries that are out by you in your footprint. So we're going to disperse it all across our Samson Properties footprint, but I want to appreciate you for giving just a little extra this year. Even if it's a $2 pair of socks, you guys, it'll help in a big, big, big way. So thank you so much.
Excellent. So dive into that. I appreciate that.
It's for the children.
It's for the children, of course.
It's for the children.
So we got some big news that's going to go out on social media today.
Yes.
We had a fantastic team, one of the top teams in all of the we taped a great interview. It'll come out probably Thursday or Friday to everybody with these guys, but Dustin and Devin Fox, the Fox Homes team, did Samson Properties officially on Friday. And,
super excited.
you know, we have a short video we'll put out with it as well. So we're really excited to welcome Dustin and Devin, and they've got a fantastic team. What'd you say, Justin?
You guys are good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got a great video we'll send out as well. Teaser you'll see on social media. And then we've got a full interview that I did with them, learning about their team. They are looking to grow. They are looking to expand within our footprint. And I think what you hear all the greats do, a lot of you might be like, I'm interested in joining that team. So welcome to Dustin and Devin and all the Fox Homes team. We've had a chance to meet a lot of you over the last couple of weeks as you've been deciding whether to come or not. And it's been great meeting all of you. And you guys are going to be great additions to all of our family. So welcome to the Fox Homes team.
You guys check the sound back there. We're getting some feedback that there's no sound.
No, that's old. Don't look at that.
Oh, okay. Good morning. Oh, y'all are behind.
We can't control that down, only you can.
Only
Go
you
ahead.
can. Okay.
All right. So
Congrats.
holiday parties.
Carolyn Young. Yes. Thank you.
We've got
We're coming to you, friends. It's Christmas.
it is Christmas all over. So we have booked, it looks like 10 or 12 of these holiday parties. So I'd encourage you. Now we don't do one in every office or we die. But I don't know if we die, but
Well, for those of you that used to remember the day, the year that we opened up all the new offices, we did do like 23, 25 parties, and Donnie and I both ended up sick and we were not enjoying holidays at all. So we're going to do it a little bit more in a regional fashion to bring people in. So we've done some of the same offices we did last year that had a good footprint, but we've also gone to some new offices this year. We invite you to come to the Look, if you want to come to every single holiday party and white elephant gift it with us, you are welcome to, because we bring some really fun presents and we have some good hijinks. But please do plan to come to an office near you. Look, I know some people are going to have to drive, but I'm going to tell you to suck it up. We're driving 2 hours.
right.
We're coming to
exactly.
see you. You come see us. We want to party with you. We want to celebrate the season with you. We typically do potluck style. The signups are on the Cardinal Nest, as well as it's a white elephant gift exchange. And I'm a big stealer and I will steal whatever Donnie gets.
Okay, so I've got first thing I want to do is just
Yes.
remind you guys, we're not going to go through every class in the Zoom here. We're not going to dive in every little detail because I do a lot in the weekend updates. So if you aren't watching those, I try to keep them 10, 15 minutes on Fridays. We send those out. You can always watch them back on the Nest later. That's going to go over through the schedule, all the things going on. So we're not going to
coming
for the
Yes.
week coming, and also talks about kind of what's happened on the week of
Yes.
market stats, top leaders, lots of that great stuff. So I'm going to bring up Jason in a second, but I'm going to ask a question for the crowd first. So everybody be ready out there, and we're going to
Get your
try
phones
this,
ready. We're
raising
gonna-
your hands here.
And I'm going to call on you.
So if you had a listing this weekend or in the past maybe 2 weeks, listing agents only, if you had a listing sell in the first weekend and you had multiple contracts, so now I had one offer, it was 10 grand under, you had multiple contracts, first weekend on the market, I want to hear from you. So raise your hand if I want to hear how the buyer comps looked on those. Did they offer 2s, 2.5s, 3s, 0s? Kind of talk me through what that looked like. So listing agents out there, first weekend on the market, multiple contracts, any examples in the last week, 2, 3 weeks? So I see Catherine.
All right. So Catherine, so guys, remember, you're going to click the heart button at the bottom that says react. You're going to click raise your hand and I'm going to call on you. So Catherine, you can unmute.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hi,
Yeah, we
Catherine.
can. Good morning.
Hi. So I had a really great offer. I got 10,000 over. It was multiple offers and we paid 2.5% and I got paid 3. So
How
Well,
many
really
of
well.
the contracts do you know? How many? 2.5 or 2 or 3? Like what was out of the
they
contracts you
all
got?
came in. They all came in requesting 2.5, and that's what we ended up paying. With no
Awesome.
So they
hesitation.
all were 2.5 and you're not paying 2.5. Good, good to hear. That's good feedback. So we'd like to hear how that is, those multiple offers. Thanks, Catherine.
So I'll tell you while we're waiting on other as well. I wrote 4 offers this week and 3 of them got ratified. All 3 of them
Offers this
I
weekend?
did. It
Wow.
was very busy for me. I was everywhere from Arlington to Marshall to Berryville to Winchester. So I spent a lot of time in God's country in my car. But in 2 of the 3 situations, we were multiple offers. And I went back and asked the agent after we ratified, and she said that all of them came across with 2.5 or 3, and 2 of the ones that I won, I had 3% in.
Ah, 3%.
So I got
Look at
3%.
you.
I'm a 3% girl.
All right. So I want you guys to think about those while I bring up our next guest. Is Jason in here?
All right,
Okay.
so we do have a note here from Thomas that he had multiple offers for as well. His offer was accepted at 2.5. Guys, we're still seeing the compensation come in strong in those Cardinal reports. So huge kudos to the scenes putting those Cardinal trends together. We'll see some of those later today with Carrie, but we're seeing a really, really strong 94, 95, 97, 98% covering buyer's agent and large percentage over 2.5. So guys, we're still seeing it.
So any other people that had listing agents, multiple offers on a contract weekend that want to share kind of what that experience was?
All
Frank,
right, Frank.
give us 1 second. We're getting you,
Yep.
getting you up here. Okay. After Frank, we'll go to
Yep,
Jason.
go ahead, Frank.
Good morning, everyone. I did
Good morning.
have multiple offers in a Winchester listing, 10,000 over, 2%, 2.5% buyer's agent.
Nice.
2%. Great. Good stuff. I like it. I love it, Frank. Thank you for the feedback.
I mean,
All right,
2.5.
Jason, I just saw your pretty mug pop up there. How you doing this morning, Mr. Cheperdak?
I'm doing great. I'm stealing my wife's Zoom account. So everyone, I am.
I can see that. You're Allison today. That's great.
Today.
Use whatever resources you have, friend.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
How's
I'm
how
very
things been
team
going for
effort.
the Shepherd Homes Group? I saw a big announcement on Facebook the other day. You just guys passed $1 billion.
Nice job.
That's
Yes.
pretty. That's pretty great.
You
How,
get a hand for that,
how
friend.
many years does the team take to get to $1 billion, Jason?
So I've been licensed for 8 years. A lot of that happened in the last 4.5 years because my first year I sold 7.8 million. So not a huge dent in $1 billion in year one. But the last couple of years we've been doing over 200 million. So we've been trucking along at that number, but $1 billion's been very exciting for us.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So Jason, you know, we love to tap on our top producers like you, and we've got Carolyn coming next, and you know, we just kind of want to know what's the market looking like for you guys out there as far as competitiveness, things. What are you seeing kind of on an everyday basis? You guys are out there selling, you know, 40, 50 homes a month right now. What are you guys seeing?
We're seeing 3 things. The DC condo market's dead, so no one's buying condos in Washington, DC, but the premium markets for townhomes, Georgetown and Capitol Hill, Calorama continue to be very strong. I think we're going to continue to see that trend in Washington, DC as the saturation of new inventory. I'm a developer. I build condos in DC. We're getting out of that because we're trying to get into the row home market for that reason. So stay clear of condos if you can. Virginia, Maryland, I think we're seeing a very consistent basis that people want a turnkey product. Anything that's not turnkey is not selling. So you need to invest more right now. I think every seller is saying, if I don't get my number, that's fine. I'm going to list it in the spring. And every buyer right now is saying, well, that's great. If I find what I'm looking for, I'm going to buy it. But if not, I'm going to wait and buy in the spring. And so what I'm telling my agents, and I'll tell all of you, is you need to be in control now more than ever. Don't wait for your clients to tell you what to do. You need to tell your clients what to do. And I use that doctor mentality, right? If Donnie's a surgeon of real estate, if Donnie's a surgeon, I don't go to Donnie for surgery and tell him what to do. I go to Donnie for surgery. He literally puts me under with anesthesia and I wake up and the job is done. And so we need to be doctors for our clients and tell them what to do right now.
I love that.
Absolutely.
That's a great analogy because I don't think most of us do that. I think we let the seller or buyer dictate what's going on. And it is a purchase, but they hire us for a reason. It's to be that doctor, to tell them what's best for them. They don't know. And, you know, telling them not to fix their house up or not making a turnkey, that's the easy us to do because it's scary, but it's not being a great pro. It's not.
You're not being the expert. You're not serving them.
So I love that. That's great advice, you know, is make it turnkey or it's not going to sell, you know, and I worry a little bit about the wait till spring mentality because we don't know what that looks like, you know, but so what do you
know what we know right now? Know what's going to happen in 3 months or 4 months or 5 months.
Agreed.
What are you guys seeing as far as when you get multiple? How's the commission breaking out on the listing side? You know, are you getting a bunch of what are you getting seen? And then on the buyer side, what do you guys think you're able to get on most of your offers right now?
Yeah, so I want everyone to understand, Redfin released a report recently in the past 30 days that showed pre-NAR, there was commission compression nationwide, and the average commission was pressed down to 2.2% nationally. After NAR, commissions are now above 2.3%. Average commission nationally. So if you look at national numbers from Redfin, we have seen a relaxed commission compression, which is fantastic. The moment NAR went out, do you know what we did at the Shepherd Homes Group? We made every buyer agency agreement 3%. Okay. Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Now, are we always getting 3%? No. Do the dynamics of the contract allow you to be 3%? Yes. I'm not going to go to Sarah Moorman, who's like, the listing agent and then ask for 3.5%, you know, in a time where it doesn't make sense. If she's discounting her commission, we're all trying to make a deal work. You can't be greedy. So I think in our market, it's very important that we're reciprocal and you represent the brand that you want to represent in the marketplace with agent relationships, because that is everything right now. But you should be asking for more. On the listing side, I don't talk about the buyer agency commission anymore. I don't care what the buyer agent does. On the listing commission, I'm only talking about my listing commission, and we're saying
You feel like a rock star. You're doing me such a favor.
You can get more because they used to be talking in 5s and 6s, and now you're talking in half that number. So it's easier.
Absolutely. Right? So as like a standpoint for us, we're on track to sell over 550 houses this year. Which is crazy. And
that's a few homes.
Awesome.
It's a few homes. And with that, we've seen since NAR, we've seen a 1/4 point increase average commission per transaction for us. So that's 0.25%
Now, what do you, when you guys are on the listing side and you get 4 offers in, what are you seeing from the public, or the other agents coming at you, you know, on balance, on average, do you think?
I'm going to get, so can y'all see me?
Yeah.
Can you see me?
Okay.
I can't see you yet.
Let me be very clear. Everyone is asking for 2.5% commission.
I know.
Everyone. Is that clear?
That's funny. That's great.
Everyone. And let me tell you, some people are bold. I had a multiple offer situation. I had an agent who wrote me a hell of an offer. It was $50,000 above asking price, $100,000 non-refundable EMD, and they asked for 3.5%. And can I tell you something? I took their offer. You know why? I said, if you're going to give me the golden standard of an offer, I'm going to compensate you the golden standard of compensation. God bless America.
Because
absolutely,
right? Your seller's fine. Yes. They're fine.
Well, and to your point, Jason, I'm looking at those contracts coming in every week to Cardinal Title, and I'm looking at those compensations because I want to keep ahead of the trends. And I'm seeing them at 3.5% and 4%, and I am like, you go, people.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, you know your value, and in the end, it's all about the net. And the sellers really don't care what the commissions are if they get their number.
Sure, absolutely. What are you kind of pushing to your team? Tips for your team and tips for all the realtors out there that are, you know, it's mid-November. Some people kind of mentally shut it down a little bit, although ideally they wouldn't. What are you pushing in your team meetings, and what would you say to the couple hundred people on the Zoom? Like, piece of advice from Jason Cheperdak.
Is it okay if I give 3 things?
Of course.
Absolutely.
I need 3. Okay. At this time of year, just so you guys understand, everyone talks about creating a business plan. Okay. Everyone talks about it. No one does it. For me, I've got 26 agents on my team. We're dialed, right? It's taken me almost 4 months to get each one of my agents with coaching a really good business plan. 4 months. We started business plans 4 months ago. Really comprehensive business plans. It's so hard to do because us as entrepreneurs, we don't want to do it. We're like, it's just going to happen. It's not going to happen. What you put in paper manifests to a reality in your world. And then with business plans in this category, don't make them complicated. Put down your transaction count. So if you want to do it by transaction, if your goal is 24 transactions, 2 transactions a month, just divide them out by category. Half of it is going to be sphere of influence business. 6 of them will be from open houses, and I have to host X number of open houses to get there, and break it down. Maybe you only have 1 lead source. Like maybe I'm only going to do realtor.com. That's it. How many leads do you need to do at a 4% conversion to create your goal? And if you do that, there's shame on you if you don't reach your goals the next year. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2 is I love this quote. So my quote for the year is, what you do not change, you choose.
Oh, somebody write that down. What you do not
I just got it tattooed across my back. I'm joking. I didn't. I don't have tattoos. Okay. What you don't change, you choose.
Yes, that's fair. That's a great quote.
So does that mean I'm treating Sarah if I keep her around?
For the love. Yes.
What you don't change, you choose. So what do you need to change? If you don't change what you did last year, for the love of God, you're not doing something different this year. So
exact same thing you got last year.
The same results this year.
Right.
Exactly. And the third is, I would say, is love your people. So I think everyone's so focused on the next deal and the next piece of business this time of year. Yes, you need to be focused on building your pipeline of business, but we forget to really slow down and be humans. And so I encourage everybody in my world and in my life to remember that we're all humans. And when you reach out to your people, your friends, your family, your past clients, and if you're be like, hi, this is Donny Samson, and I wanted to check in and give you a market update for next year. I'm gonna throw up. I don't want that phone. Nobody wants that phone call.
Nobody, right. But Jason, you did a great, I saw on your reel, you did a fantastic client event, friend event at your house, your Friendsgiving. You had
Yes.
50 people packed into your house.
54 people.
54.
54. You and
I
Allie,
moved-
great
I
job.
hired a moving company to move my own furniture into storage and then hired a company to bring tables in.
I'm just mad over one thing. Donnie and I did not get it.
There was no room.
There's no room.
I am happy to help. I will be on my waiter cap. I thought it looked
no
lovely.
room.
I thought it was amazing. You did a great job. And that to me is the standard of how you should treat your people.
Love it. Love it.
So
Love
be
it.
human,
Well-
call people as people, love them, create some in the community, and that's a testament to our brokerage and the way that our brokerage operates. So don't be a business person, be a human and treat humans like humans.
But awesome stuff, Jason. Well, I appreciate you popping in. I know you got your team meeting coming up.
You
and
bet.
just keep crushing it, Shepherd Homes Group, and you were doing a fantastic job. We're thankful for you and thanks for the tips today.
Yes.
We'll
Thank
see
you
you
guys.
soon.
Thank you,
Best.
friend. Take
Take
care.
Bye, guys.
I see the beautiful Miss Young up there. Let's pop old Carolyn in. There she is.
Carolyn, how
Look at that. I knew she'd have a fancy background too. How you doing, Miss Young?
Good morning. How are you guys doing? So,
fantastic.
by the way, I'm so glad you guys are doing this Zoom platform. I think it's awesome. So,
Awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Well,
for
we're so
participating.
glad because then
Yeah,
we get you
yeah,
in the meeting. I know you're not driving all the way out here. So now
I
we get
know, and you know me, I'm a Zoom girl. So,
Fantastic.
So, Carolyn, your team is doing phenomenal. Another great year for your team, and we're just so blessed by how well you guys are doing and giving back to the Samson community. And I'm curious, what are you seeing out there? You guys are closing 30, 40, 50 deals last month. What are you seeing around the team, kind of in general, with the market kind of temperature for buyers and sellers? First of all.
yeah. And first of all, I have to say, Donnie, if you know, we just hit our 1-year anniversary being with Samson.
You did.
And- Yeah. And we love it. I just love being there. So.
All right. Now, the only bad thing about this Zoom format, Carolyn, where's the cake?
I know, but that's a good thing. That's okay. I can
Absolutely.
give you my address. I can give you my address.
Okay,
There
here
you
we
go.
go.
We'll send you a cake.
Well, I'll bring the cake because I'm not sending it if I don't get any. The cake is totally ulterior motive.
I'll meet you and share it with you, Sarah. How about that?
I will do
Perfect.
that.
Perfect. Well, it's been a
So,
great year. It's been
I
a great
would
year.
say
Oh,
for us, okay, so a couple things and what Jason said, a lot of it I could just ditto because I think we're all seeing like the similar things in the market for the ones that are involved in the market. But I would say a couple things that maybe I could add to that. For one, our team, is a Zillow partner, right? And it's I do believe it's the largest lead generation platform in the country, right? So in the industry.
Sure.
But so even with them, we generally would get, say, on an instance of 500 leads a month from them, a couple months going up to the election. I mean, it went down to less than 50%. So if they're getting less leads, everybody is, right?
Right.
But I do see there was still a lot of people doing business, but just it wasn't as fluid. But since post-election, I mean, it just went bananas with everybody that's coming in. So
Really?
I
Love that
feel
news.
like that,
I love that. I love to hear
that's
that.
over, it's behind us, and people just need to move on. They're predicting
And
rates.
I think many people, to your point, Carolyn, many people were just, whether they like politics or not, they were just stuck.
Everybody was just
What's gonna
frozen.
happen? You're right. And that flood, that dam kind of burst and the floodgates opened when the election was just done. Now it's like,
But,
okay. let's
also
find-
after being in the industry for 32 years, I've been through quite a few elections. It's not uncommon for it to
Right.
happen every
Government
election.
shutdowns and elections screw with our markets all the time.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you're seeing
So,
floodgates open a little bit since the election, a couple, week or
oh,
two.
it's been really busy. So
Awesome.
a lot of people are out, everybody's looking. And I think that, it's kind of like Jason said, people people want to buy, but they want the right property. And you know, they're looking for that shiny penny. So as far as sellers, if you can say, hey, you know, have your house show well, do what you need to do to get it on the market. Don't be shy about telling them it. Those are the properties that are selling and getting multiple offers. They got to price it right and it's got to show well. Or if it's something that is a fixer up, there's a lot of people looking for them, but you just got to price them correctly. And there's a
And
lot of
Donnie's
activity.
question earlier that he posed to Jason, I think I'll pose the same question to you. Are you still seeing really consistent buyer agent commissions coming in on your listing?
Yeah, so I think that, and I kind of, you know, of course we train, and the other thing is like, you know, from, you know, even for me, like, and I've talked to Donnie, like I've been doing this a long time. So I've stepped way back off personal sales and I'm working more one-on-one with the agents in the field on the team, trying to help them with personal development. And so I'm seeing it from many perspectives and seeing who's winning on the team and who's trying to get it, right? But I think that as long as you know, and I know it's kind of like, you know, a thing that I have been preaching to the team, and I've mentioned it over and over, is having value and skill set, right? And as long as you can present good value, skill set, it's very easy to win buyers over in this market. It's very easy to win sellers over. But as far as the buyer agent commission, you know, I think the whole NAR thing, you know, I didn't know the numbers that Jason had where it jumped, but I know as a team, I see a lot, you know, it's easier to get a higher commission on the buy side. Because anymore, like I don't really even call, we don't really care what they're offering. It doesn't matter because now that it's all negotiable, you know, and I agree with the listing side, you don't even need to offer buyer agent. You can just, you know, take a higher percentage for yourself because it sounds awesome instead of, you know, I don't know how much we can talk about commissions, but instead of 6, you can ask for 3. And they're happy because they're used to paying more. And I just say, be prepared on the net sheet. We still factor in a buyer agent commission. And I say, but it's negotiable. Well, it depends on the offer.
Yeah.
Right. It depends what that offer is.
Right.
Mhm.
You know, the one part that I would stop doing, you said we don't even ask it, you know, and I know Sarah and I have said this in different platforms, is if I was a buyer's agent, I wouldn't ask, you know, I think, and as a listing agent, I wouldn't marry yourself to a number.
I would give away my client's money before I saw that offer.
Because you don't know what they might come in and ask for 1.5 or 2, and all you hear, you blurt out, yeah, we're willing to give 2.
And I have had that happen.
You know,
I haven't. But the only thing is, like, you know, really, Donnie, think about it. What happened before if we wanted to win offers?
yeah,
Before NAR come out, what did we do? The buyer had to go higher. So rather than make my commission, you know, lower, you just tell the buyer that where they have to go to win.
Right. And from the buyer agent perspective, you don't want to ask and then they say 2.5 or they say, and then all of a sudden they start negotiating off of it, and then your buyer is trusting the listing agent or the seller. It's like, look, just don't ask ahead of time, because then there's no preconceived profit. You're putting in the offer and you're negotiating. It's a negotiated point. There's no seller out there that's going to refuse commission if there's a good offer in front of them. They say we want more money, and you got to change your offer, but they're not going to say we're unwilling to pay a commission.
But I do think it's important when you're the big catch there is when you're doing their net sheet.
Yep.
You know, because we do one, I guess everybody does, right? When you take a listing, you want to factor that buyer agent commission in, so that they're not like looking at a completely different, you know,
you're not hitting it with some surprise later. You know, I also am going to call out your hubby Hans here. He's got another great quote like Jason on the side here. If you want to be different, you know, so we got 2 good ones that you guys can run with, you know, Jason's and Hans. So if you want to be different, make it different. I love it, Hans. Good stuff.
You know, it's funny. It's like when you talk about, you know, sayings. It's I was on a conference call with Tom a couple days ago, and he had so many awesome quotes, and I love it. One of my favorite ones was, you know, you can't be upset at the results you're not getting from the actions you're not taking.
Right.
So,
I love that.
yeah, that's like, and you know, when you talk about what is the market, and right now, for the most part, between now and the end of the year, let's face it. I mean, there's a lot more business to be had because a lot of people mentally check out during the holidays.
Yeah.
And I think most agents probably work, you know, between now and the end of the year, probably take over 50% of the time off. So it's easier to do transactions. I mean, I even the other day listed a house that their agent told them that they should wait until spring because the holidays are coming. And I'm like, the market's active right now. Why would you wait?
Right.
So, so there's a lot of people that really do believe that, and it's not true.
I love it.
Yeah,
and
so
it's
I
good
think,
advice, and it's what the top people are doing. You can't, and then all of a sudden January 3rd you decide to work, and then you're going to be chasing that ball.
And
Everybody
I
else
tell you, one of the big, value props that I hope, Donnie, I don't know how much people use it, but we love to use it, is being with Samson. I can go out on an appointment and, for now, you got to try to get the buyers under your buyer agency to show them homes, and you got to give them your value prop. But how many buyers wouldn't sign up with you if you're working for a company that has 12, 14% market share, 6,000 agents, and I always show them the First Up app as to, I have availability to office exclusive listings that nobody else has. So it's just, you got to push that out to the buyers. To me, that's a huge platform. And it is for the sellers too. You tell the sellers, hey, if you don't want to go on till next spring, I can pre-market your listing to over 6,000 agents. We have 12 to 14% market share and make it an office exclusive. That's a big deal.
It's such a good point. And I think that every single person out there, a seller that's saying they're going to list in February and March, they should all be in First Up right now. There's no downside. All you're gonna do is pre-market it for 4 months. You never know. You might get that dream buyer over the next 2 months that, will give you the terms and the price and everything you want. They won't have to fix it up, and they'll give them whatever they want, so there's no downside for the next 2 months.
And I really want to hit on what Hans just put in the chat, which was don't mentally check out. Guys, this is Thanksgiving next week. We've got Christmas in a month. We've got, New Year's right out. Yes, it's fun to have some downtime, but please don't check out, because people still want to buy and sell every day. And if you check out, they're going to go to someone else because you're not available. So enjoy your downtime, have your conversations, but at the same time, be engaged.
Love it. Love it. So tips I know that you're preaching stuff to your team every day, but tips for your team or tips for the whole company and the couple hundred people watching right now, anything you would tell them? I know you've already dropped some great knowledge, but
I think, the one thing that Jason said that, and I would completely agree, because we've gone through it with all of our agents. We have them for the past few months setting up 2025, but people should not think about 2025, January 1. 2025 starts now. So if you can go into next year, let's say you're a single agent and you can find 5 people that want to list their home in spring market, and you can list them now and use that Samson First app as a gateway to say, hey, let's start pre-marketing now and sign the listing agreement for 6 months, whatever. You'll go into January with a few listings to put on the market. And I think that just knowing that so many people mentally check out, design your schedule, design how many sales you want for November, December, how many you want to go into, you want to go into January with already on the books, and make the last quarter really hard, and your first quarter will start off with ease.
With a bang. Absolutely.
I love tips, Carolyn. So, we're really blessed to have such an amazing pro like you, doing a great job with your team, and be willing to jump in here and share so much knowledge with us. So thank you, Carolyn. I really appreciate it.
Sure.
You're the best. And we'll see you soon. Thanks for all the great knowledge, Carolyn.
And we're going to hook up with that cake, Carolyn, I promise.
Okay, I'm waiting.
Be over with the cake. Take care,
I like
Carolyn.
the anniversary card too, Sarah, if you don't mind.
Okay, I'll pick that up. Thanks, Carolyn.
Fantastic. Good stuff. Good stuff. So now that everybody's had some time to digest, they've talked to, we've seen Carolyn and Jason, which was awesome. I'm going to revisit this question. I've got more questions for the crowd, but if you're a listing agent and you had multiple offers on a first weekend sale this weekend, anybody with any additional feedback on what that buyer that came in? Any, remember, hit that react button at the bottom and raise your hand, and Sarah will release you to the world.
Deb just sent me a great comment too, as I unmute Elizabeth Klein, is it's not too late to do those pop buys. She is the queen of pop buys. So do those pop buys. All right, Elizabeth, go ahead and unmute yourself. You just remuted yourself. There,
Can we spotlight her too? There she is.
there we go.
Hi.
Okay, you're on.
How we doing,
Okay.
Elizabeth?
Oh, no video today. Sorry, guys.
Okay,
It's not
okay.
gonna happen. Yes, I've also experienced the same thing. So every single listing I've had the past 3 weeks in a row, first weekend out, multiple offers, 2.5% is definitely the average coming in. I did have a 2. I had one ask for a 3, but for the most part, 2.5 seems to be the streamlined number that's coming in. So as long as you price a listing correctly, you can get multiples any time of the year. That's it.
And no-
Regardless of condition.
And no
because-
seller pushback. They're having no problems paying those commissions. 'Cause I know you got a lot of listings the last couple weeks. You know, you're getting similar stuff in. No seller pushback on paying that, and they're okay with all that.
So yes, because I set the expectation in the listing presentation.
Right. Yes.
So,
And that's
you
the
know-
key, guys. They're not just gonna, oh, whoa, okay. And Carolyn said this too. Make sure it's on the net
On the
sheet.
net
Make sure
sheet,
they're
yeah.
prepared for that number or something similar to it, so it's not a shock. It's one thing if you say 2.5 on a net sheet and then somebody asks for 3. Okay, not a big deal. They can adjust. The offer is probably good enough to handle that. But if you've prepared them for 0, and then all of a sudden
They're taking a 3% hit. That's a big,
it's going to surprise people. So,
absolutely.
awesome.
Yep.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
Chris Thomas.
Chris Thomas, go ahead and unmute yourself.
I had a multiple offer on my listing, 2 days of coming on the market, and I got 3%, and the buyer's agent got 2%. And they
Okay.
have no problem with that.
Were the offers coming in? Were a lot of them 2, 2.5, 1.5, 3? What were we seeing on all those different
Well,
offers?
there's one that is came in at 2.5. And there's one that was 3, and then their offer is lower than the one that we took. It's we finally accepted the offer that is 5,000 over the listing price. And it was they have no problem taking 2.
Great. Well, that's a win-win, right? You got to find that best net for the seller, and looks
Yep.
like you a little bit of variance in some of the commissions, but ended up the buyer agent probably would have still wanted it. As for 2.5, it sounds like, because they had the best offer.
I think they just want to win the
Yeah, they wanted to win.
The
so they
house.
cut it, but
Right.
right. A lot of us would rather get 2% and stop showing them homes than risk it at getting 2.5. But
Yeah.
power to us, ask for that 2.5, ask for that 3, and see what happens. Right. It's all about what the buyers
Yes.
will pay. So I appreciate that, Chris. Any other thoughts on this question before we move on to the next one? Anybody have multiple offers and see buyer contracts come in and want to talk a little bit about that? All right. So
All right.
I'm going to give
next
one more
topic,
question
yeah.
for people to think about here, and then our next guest is going to be Miss Lindsey, she's back there. Open houses. I'm curious how that's going. I know that Carolyn said she's seen a big spike in online leads and a big spike in traffic in general since the election. Area, price, and then how was your traffic? And I'm also curious, when you bring up that traffic, if you can determine how much of that traffic was a free agent, which is, a bad term to use, I guess, but somebody that you can kind of tell if I had 10 people in my open house, it felt like 6, 7, 8 of them didn't have contracts. One speculation I have is that open houses might be even more valuable than before, because buyers, now that they have to sign, now that they always had to sign one, but now that it's more expected that they sign a buyer agency agreement sooner in the process, they might be willing to be like, well, hold on, I'm going to kind of play my cards a little bit. I'm just going to see here. So you might run into more free agents at open houses that haven't committed to a realtor yet, but I could be wrong. So I'm curious, raise your hands if you've got any feedback on open houses you've done in the last week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, kind of what that traffic looked like. I love to hear area and price because it kind of gives a perspective, because each area is a little bit different. So anybody that wants to share a little bit about some of their open house traffic in the last couple of weeks. Pat Sowers, I don't see a raised hand somehow. You got him? Patty,
Oh,
how you
there
doing,
you
buddy?
go.
There it is. He tried to
Hey,
do the raise emoji and
What's
the hand.
going on? Hands up. Not my open house. I went to an open house with a client on Sunday. There were 5 people in it when we got there. There were 5 families literally getting out of the car, walking up. I had to park probably 1/8 of a mile away and walk down there. And as we were leaving, every car that left, another one came in.
Wow.
It was first off, it was priced correctly, which was the most important part. And we made an offer. That you might have seen the video I posted about the person who asked us to make a escalation clause, even though she told us we wouldn't win, still wanted our clause. Amazingly, she ended up with like 7 or 8 offers, and we're still in play. So we asked for 2.5. She didn't balk at that at all. She was looking for a little bit more money for her client, but they still haven't ratified. But I literally, in a 25-minute period, I saw 30 different groups going into this one open house.
Crazy. I
amazing.
love that. I love that.
So, yeah,
Where
good
was
feedback.
where was the area, just out of curiosity?
Lake Ridge,
Okay.
And what was
excellent.
your price point there?
720.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
That's pretty strong. Yeah.
Thanks, Pat. Appreciate
Thanks.
it, buddy.
No
Let's
worries.
go to Dom
Dom?
first.
Hi, I had an open house this past weekend. I'm in Baltimore City, and I think we priced it pretty well. It's at $395, 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, a large row home, super Art Deco in the Penn Station North area. And we got about 15 people, a few couples at the open house. And the feedback that I got, I don't know if we're talking about feedback, but is that a lot of people are nervous to purchase right now because they're relocating in that area from DC, and they're worried about losing their jobs if they're government jobs. So I think we got some decent feedback, but I don't really know how to react to that. So if anyone has tips or anything that they've spoken about with their clients, that would be helpful if they could share. But yeah, overall, most people were interested, but just a little hesitant to purchase due to their government jobs they think being at risk.
Wow.
That's
That's
a
a real
that's
thing.
worry. I'm not sure I have
Yeah.
a great response to that.
Yeah.
But other people in the crowd might, I would say that, I don't know exactly what people's jobs are, but I think that will probably open up a lot of opportunities in the private sector for some of those people, but some maybe not. I don't know. Then we're flooding a lot of people into the private sector. So I'm not going to act like I got the answers to that one, but that's good feedback, Dom, for sure. Thank you.
Absolutely.
If anybody ever has thoughts on that, obviously pipe in. It looks like
Yeah,
you got
Moorman, you're next.
unmute.
You muted yourself.
Hold on. There you go. There it is.
There it
Okay, there we go.
Hi, Carmen.
So when I don't have a listing open, I tend to just wander around my zip code, which is 20850 in Rockville. And so last weekend I went and saw 4 properties, million plus. The 2 that I thought were amazingly priced are under contract, and the 2 that were pushing the limit, and 1 I thought was way pushing the limit based on condition and tenant occupancy, are still there. But it's,
Interesting,
they were
interesting.
all busy. Like all 4 of those open houses had people pouring in and out.
I'm telling you, I would have everything open, even if they're overpriced or they're wrongly priced, and you can't get the sellers to the right spot. At least you're creating opportunities and you're meeting people. If I were selling right now, every listing I had, I'd have open. And if I was an agent, I'd be searching for great agents out there that could get me an open to sit on, because there's opportunities in those open houses for sure. Appreciate that feedback, Carmen.
Absolutely, Carmen. And we've got some feedback in the chat as well, doing regular opens, and Gina and White Marsh. They're trying to get into the home to get prospects ready for 2025. In Manassas, Mary said traffic was low on the single family home, did new photos. Zillow Showcase was great pictures. We'll use the combination from here on out. Showing requests picked up with a 5K reduction, and getting people to hold it open. So fingers crossed.
I saw a lot of great feedback on our Facebook group about Zillow Showcase. If I had a new listing coming out, or if I had one that was struggling a little bit, I would absolutely look at that Zillow Showcase for $250. We're not going to dive into all the appeals of it here, guys, but I've done a lot on video. We have a page on the Nest, but Zillow Showcase, I mean, the price we're offering is like a third of the price out there because of our deal with Zillow, and it gets traffic in there. And that Facebook group we had that Chris Loizo started the thread, and then there were 25 of them in there that really had a good experience. Merry Christmas,
Merry
just
Christmas,
do it.
amazing.
It's amazing.
Yes.
how would you, when this,
How would you react at an open house when the person asks, says, yes, they have an agent? That's a great question, Renee.
Renee, personally, I would continue to treat them the same way and be great
Yep.
to them and all those kind of things. And it might be that saying yes is a defense mechanism. I
Yeah, some
certainly,
people, they don't want to be hassled, so they just go, yes, I do.
I certainly wouldn't try to steal their client, me personally. But if I act great to them and show them my knowledge and show them what a great agent I am, I think that, you know, if they really don't have one, that'll become apparent in the next 5, 10, 15 minutes as showing them around, talking to them, whatever, you know, so I think that there's an opportunity that maybe then they'll start asking buying questions. Well, what do you have over? It's like, wait a minute, I thought you had an agent, you know, so I think just treat them great. Treat them like they don't have one, obviously not trying to steal somebody, go behind their contract, but treat them with great respect and great care. And if they really don't have one, I think that that'll become apparent and maybe you got a chance at them, or maybe they become disenchanted with their agent and they're going to remember you and they'll reach out in a week or two.
Absolutely.
And make sure they have your contact information just in case they have any questions on the house. But it's also so that, you know, if they decide they want to reconnect with you, they can.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to bring Lindsey.
Yep.
She's hanging out back here, our great president of Cardinal Title Group. We didn't talk about where she was going to stand up.
I know.
So
You can come.
What do you
in the middle.
recommend?
I don't know. Maybe here. So good to see you, Carrie. Thanks for coming by.
You guys, I love the new format.
Oh yeah.
It's excellent.
Except we still made you walk upstairs. We couldn't have you sit at the desk.
I
No problem. I
know.
love to come up.
So the great Carrie Lindsey's here. If you've got any questions, obviously you can raise your hand in the chat. But Carrie's got a couple slides she wants to
Yeah.
announce here for us. So, well, first of all, we'll
Look
talk
at
about
that.
capture rate. Our capture rate for West Virginia, Virginia was 49%.
You go, guys.
It's fantastic. This is just our
Maryland's
buy
easy.
side.
We need you to step it up just a little bit, friends.
And overall, we're 45%. So
Beautiful.
I'll put up this chart real quick because you can see where it is and what region. You can see that Baltimore, Maryland, DC Metro would like to pump that up a little bit. Maryland, West Virginia Panhandle. Normally it's above the line, so that dropped down a little bit this time, but Northern Virginia, Central Virginia is still holding strong, but good. And we appreciate all you guys overall, but
Absolutely.
obviously we'd love to see those numbers 1, 2, 3% higher would be fantastic. Miss Lindsey, there's you.
Yeah.
We've got some
Oh,
announcements.
you got
We
some.
do.
We want to recognize a couple of great people.
We have awards every month, as most of you know, and we had a winner this month. Arash is our processor of the month.
Yay,
Arash is in our White
congratulations.
Marsh office, and he's excellent. We were very
Yes.
happy to
Always
award
hear great stuff about Ross.
him. Yeah, he's
Yes.
phenomenal. Nikki is also phenomenal. Post closer of the month. Nikki's in our Lake Ridge office.
You go, Nikki.
Oh, there you go. Lake Ridge Pride.
And then downstairs, Annika is our Above and Beyond Award winner. Annika just does so much to help everybody within the company, and we are thrilled to have her. She's actually pretty new to, been here for less than a year, and has really proven herself and a great part of our team.
What is Annika's direct job?
What's her role?
She helps out in post closing. She helps out doing everything that we need. She's a backup.
She's above and
receptionist.
beyond.
She
That's her
is.
answer.
Well, and
Yeah.
that would mean so much because that's not just a client fed and an agent fed like Arash and Nikki, which are also wonderful, but that above and beyond is voted by their peers. So they see not only how they're acting with the clients and the agents, but also how they're helping each other. So that above and beyond, I just love that one.
Me too. And all these people get a bonus, and Annika.
And they love their
Yeah,
bonus.
They love their bonus. And Annika is probably one of the youngest people that works at Cardinal too. So she's got a great future.
Was she at the desk the other day when I went down?
Yeah,
there?
she was. Yeah.
Good job, Annika. Fantastic stuff. So
My favorite topic.
this is a reminder from Miss Lindsey.
Closings. You know why it's my favorite topic? Because it
Holidays,
means Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, Sarah. All right.
Well, November 15th was like the end of the month for us. It was the busiest in November, last Friday. Just keeping in mind, if you have a closing in November, the 22nd is probably the last day that you really want to schedule your closing. So the 22nd being this Friday. Same thing in December. December 20th is looking good. As far as December goes, that's a really good day to close. The 27th is okay if you need to go later. We have gotten a lot of contracts for that day too, but I do like the 20th if you're trying to go late December, giving people extra time to move over the holidays too.
I would put one caveat in here. Look, if it's already the 20th and you're set for next Monday or Tuesday, 25th, 26th, you probably can't change it at this point.
No.
But what
Please talk to your lender.
what I
first.
would tell you is that I would prepare, especially your seller, for the idea. Like, you don't need to make a big deal about it, but realize, look, they might not see their actual funds until December 2nd, December 3rd, because of the fact that going to the next week and can't record until the courthouse is open again on Monday the 2nd. So it's not that the Cardinals classes aren't open to record stuff. So just something to keep in mind if you're talking to your sellers ahead of these things. Buyers, they're going to move in. They're not really worried about it. But sellers, they want to actually collect. It's not sometimes going to hit their accounts and their payoffs to their other banks until it's officially closed.
And remember these little baby courthouses in some of these faraway areas that aren't so large, they may just decide to close early on a Tuesday. And when it's one or two people, so be aware that some of the holidays invoke a little extra government PTO.
Government
fantastic.
PTO.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, maybe.
It's a thing.
And just something to keep in mind too, the per diem on some of these paths is over $100. If you have 5 extra days, that's really a lot of money per diem. So just something to keep in mind. For, of course, the buyer doesn't care about that, but for the seller, you just want to set the expectations if the closing is at the end of this month.
Right, that payoff's going to be a little bit higher than they want it to be because of those extra
Yep, a
days.
little
So
chunky.
plan ahead if you're a listing agent right now and you want to get that earlier in December, not up against that 3 days off for Christmas, because it'll lag on you a little. And if it doesn't get closed and recorded on the 27th, all of a sudden you're losing a couple extra days there. So just some contracts. Cardinal's been doing a great.
Yes.
So we appreciate this. Gives out that contract trends emails typically on Thursdays, right?
Yeah.
And what we're doing, guys, is we're evaluating the 130, 150, 160 contracts that come into Cardinal every week. We're setting out these great trends so you can see what's going on in West Virginia, Maryland, DC, and Virginia, these different markets. Evaluate what's going on in the market.
So we are still getting questions about this, just to let everybody know, this is just residential contracts that have ratified in the previous week. This is not from June or new construction or land or commercial or refis, all of that data out. So we are left with that good 100 to 130 to 150 pool of contracts being used. So good, strong, relevant, current data. We're kicking anything out that's older than 7 days.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we were at 96 last week for the commissions, right?
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
96.
It was
good
great.
stuff.
Yeah, you
Nice
guys are
and
doing
right.
an
Yep.
awesome job on that.
Any questions for Miss Lindsey before we
Don't-
slide back downstairs? Raise your hand in the chat. We'd love to ask you.
Chat.
Carrie, any other thoughts on what's going on with the Cardinal? Anything exciting?
We had a potluck yesterday.
How was
Thanksgiving
your potluck?
It was fantastic. We had
Yes?
so many people come from other offices.
I need to eat. I couldn't
Uh-huh.
figure out to eat.
Well, I saw it and then forgot to go. I was gonna pop in and say hi because she
Yeah,
looked
we
like a
only
bag
invited
lady.
Sarah.
You only
Yeah.
invited Sarah, not
Yeah,
me.
sorry, yeah.
I'm gonna remember that.
We also had a potluck in Columbia yesterday. So we had 2 different locations and got everybody together.
That's
So thankful. We have a marvelous staff. I've worked here for 6.5 years and we have the best people we've ever had. And I'm so thankful to work with such awesome people at Cardinal. And I'm thankful for all of you for sending us business. We appreciate it.
Awesome.
so Terry, question
you.
in
Uh,
on to the Cardinal trend. If you're not doing that, email into the help desk or marketing. It just be unsubscribed from the newsletter campaign. We will subscribe you back.
Come on back.
There you
Check
go.
your junk mail.
Thank you, Carrie.
Okay,
Appreciate
thanks
it.
everybody.
Thank you so much,
See, I'm
Carrie.
so used to people being here, and then we got clap, 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 clap. And somebody's gonna have to clap in the crowd for me so that I can be ready. So, all right, Mr. Jerry Berry, is he out there, Miss Bethany? Uh-oh, the man, the myth.
Jerry Bear.
We're gonna pop up there. It's gonna get a whole lot prettier on our screen here in a second.
Jerry Bear he is.
Am I unmuted yet?
Yeah, you're good. You're
There we
unmuted.
go.
I can hear you, buddy. How you?
Good.
Hello, Barry.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Donnie. I think you forgot to mention that you're what did you tell me last week? #1 in the whole DMV these days? What's the deal with Samson?
We are #1 in the whole DMV. We should have had a graphic ready for that. I was so worried about the Zoom. I should have been on that. That's awesome. Yeah, you're right, Jerry. We've sold the most homes this year in the whole DMV, more than any other company, that's pretty awesome. You know, we were in Northern Virginia for a while, but now we've got the whole DMV. We're #1 if you do that whole market share. So kudos to us. We will send something out on that. Thank you, reminder, Jerry. We'll send out some graphics that look great, and everybody can brag about that all over. So I want to brag about the fact, Jerry, that the Zoom background on your screen. Somebody had to help you with that. Let's be honest.
I had to bring in a 4th grader to help me with that.
Hilarious.
Are you smarter than a 5th grader? Well, not when it comes to computers.
Exactly.
So how's everything going in the lending world, my man?
You know, everything's good. In fact, it's great to hear all the success you guys are having here, even though interest rates, as we all know, have continued to tick up a little bit. I'm going to steal the screen from you for just a second if I can, Donnie. I got a couple things I wanted to show you guys. Let's see if this actually works. this could be a disaster, Donnie. I might shut down your whole meeting.
That would be awesome if you shut down the whole.
Disabled
Great.
participant from sharing screen.
Okay, hold on. They might be able to. Now try. See if you can do it now. We had to enable and allow you to do it.
You're gonna hit the big share button.
Screen. Bring that fourth grader back in here.
Oh,
There it is. Look at that.
Coming around. I hope you can see that. I won't keep this up long. I just want to
We can see this. Yeah.
Can you see it all right?
Yep.
I just wanted to show everybody what rates have done since the Fed actually lowered rates. You know, we talk about this every Friday. David and I have a little call. We usually get 30 or 40 of you agents on there. Thanks, David. But you know, I just wanted to show you what rates have done since September when the Fed actually lowered rates. You know, we saw, obviously we did see a little bit of the election move here, but in September, the 10-year yield, which is a pretty good thing to follow if you're looking at rates, the 10-year yield was all the way down to 363. When we move up today, it's all the way up to 440, right around the 440 mark. You know, and that's about 3/4, 7/8 in rate that we've seen worse. And this is since the Fed has lowered rates. So it's just an amazing thing to be talking about with your clients. Obviously, from all the success that you guys are having, it doesn't make any difference where rates are, guys. Rates historically are still phenomenal. You know, everybody's coming out here in the sixes. First-time home buyers are still below 6.5. Jumbo money, which has been solid for the last couple of years. Jumbo money, I quoted one this morning. I had a little bit of cost to get 6.625. So rates are still great. It's just amazing though, when everybody thought rates should go down because the Fed's going to lower rates, which they did, and they did again here last month, as we know, or earlier this month, excuse me, as we know. But the rates actually got worse. So just an amazing thing that I thought I would share with you guys. One other thing I wanted to share with you guys. You still see my screen? I thought this was something you guys. I thought this was something you guys could share with your first-time home buyers if you have anybody having a hard time getting off the fence because they think home values are too high. Let's look at the net worth of renters in 2019. Average net worth of renters across the nation in 2019 was $7,300. The average net worth of a homeowner in 2019 was almost $300,000. That same scenario in 2022, renters now worth 10.4, homeowners almost up $100,000. You and I both know that has a lot to do with the equity these people got in their houses. These people that bought houses in 18, 19, 20, 21 with the low interest rates. Look at the amount of net worth they grew. And then here again in 2024, even though we've seen rates as high as they are, property values continue to improve, and people's net worth continue to grow up to the average net worth $415,000. I saw that this week. I just thought that was something I should share with you guys.
I love it. I think that you know, it is, and it's not going to change, right? People can say, well, it's too high now. It's like, well, do you want to just complain about how it's too high now, or do you want to be here in 2027? Same graph that's getting bigger, the delta. You know, you got to get in where you can get in. You know, and maybe it's not the dream house today because of rates or because of numbers or whatever it is. But you know, I think that once you get into that house, it's only going to make your net worth improve and your financial situation improve. You know.
I thought so too. I thought that was good to share.
Here, Jerry, on that, are the net worth numbers due to owning, or are they buy because of their net worth? I think it's due to owning, right? It's that equity and the house just climbing.
The majority of it, because if you look at property values over the last 3 years, that was a 4-year or 5-year chart there. They'll probably mirror that. So I think you can say that a large amount of that was due to the people taking the pledge.
Absolutely.
You guys helping them buy home.
The cost of living is not decreasing, and people's income rates are not keeping up with the cost of living and inflation.
Well,
so absolutely.
Well, it also helps you when you talk about, okay, if you want to do other things to increase your net worth, well, now you have a home that's increased, and maybe you can use some of that equity to do other things when it comes to gaining net worth. You know, not even just the house, but gaining equity in that house gives you more flexibility in the future you can only save so much money to
Right.
do other stuff. But as
Right.
if you that you've put 10% into it, but to get this much, well, if that goes up 5 or 10%, you're gaining real value
dollars,
every
real dollars.
that someday
No,
you can use to invest in other things.
Yeah,
So Jerry, I'm seeing a
absolutely.
bunch
And,
of people asking for that slide. Can you send it over to me?
I'll do that. I'll do that after the meeting.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
There's tons of first-time home buyer help out there, guys, for the first-time home buyer. Heavens, West Virginia housing has 5.6% for first-time home buyers over there. For the people in West Virginia, we've been doing a whole lot of that recently. So, and the first-time home buyer still gets a good break. I mean, home possible, home ready versus what people that aren't in that market get is almost a half in rate better than what people that own a home and aren't a first-time home buyer and make more than $122,000. So, yeah, there's a lot of help out there for first-time home buyers, and we got to
Are we
continue.
seeing more than that, Jerry, than normal? Because I am seeing on Facebook, and maybe it's social media popping up, but I'm seeing home buyer grants and help money. I haven't really seen in the past. Are we getting more of it?
We've always had it. I think it's just easier to use now.
Okay.
But you're right. Everybody's rolling it out. We just got back from Denver, and Fannie, Freddie, all the people we met out there in the national convention. They're all talking about first-time homebuyer money, grants for lower income people. We're seeing that. I know both Fannie and Freddie. If you're 50% lower than the median income, there's a grant for you that's going to be available too. So, Federal Home Loan Bank, they keep putting money in that. That's really good money while it's around, and a lot of us get to use that too. So just make sure the first-time home buyers reach out to one of the First Heritage Mortgage Loan Officers. That's a shameless plug there, right? Haven't even said Jerry Berry Loans.
Yeah, I love it.
I was afraid to make the same plug.
Well-
Bottom line, sounds like you just need to talk to your First Heritage Loan.
Give you a plug too in there. She said there's a lot of other great information and sheets like that available if you just reach out to your LO. So,
Absolutely.
find your great First Heritage Loan Officer.
Absolutely.
Continuing, they've got great resources like Jerry just brought out there and can help things out. Making them a great postcard, making it a great email, making it a great social graph. You never know who's going to get off the fence to start talking to you about buying.
Yeah, we're in real estate just like you guys are. We don't make any money if we
Yes.
don't help you sell a house.
I love it.
Absolutely.
I love it. Well, Carrie, it's
Carrie?
great seeing you, buddy. We'll talk to you soon. You're the band. Take care, buddy.
Bye-bye.
All right. So we had lots of great guests here. I'm going to do a couple more minutes of conversation here. I knew I said 10 o'clock, but we can do 10:10, 10:15. What do you guys think? Maybe a couple more.
What's going on with the market?
These market are not going to dive into these here. They are on the Nest. Remember the section. We post them all here. In general, we talk a lot about what the market more inventory than there was a year ago. Sales are going well. All those things are, these in the top resources. You can go through these. But what I wanted to do was I want to go back to my question. So I asked the open house question before, but what I wanted to ask is, people are always looking for, okay, great. We heard from Jason and Carolyn, all these great
Lead
agents on
sources.
how they're great lead sources. And I want to hear from you all out there. Think through your last 3 transactions. And obviously, if you just say SOI, like Dave just texted, he just told it, that's great. And we all know SOI. And it's great to have that. And you can put that in the chat if that's where it is. Is there anywhere else that you were able to get or something interesting that you got, how you got to your SOI maybe different than we time? So your last 3 deals, curious how you got them. Open houses, walking your dog, basketball team, church group.
Walk the dog.
You can meet somebody walking the dog.
That
Dustin and Devin Fox were talking about how that they were walking the dog the other day. So
doggy would get a good bone.
Lulu Jason told me a great story. She was wearing her Samson Properties link around the Harris or wherever she was shopping. She saw her lanyard, was talking to her and said, "Are you?" She said, "Well, of course." Actually, started the conversation about the whole thing. So she said she's wearing her lanyard everywhere now. So anybody's thoughts on kind of where most recent deals, where they've seen some traction here or something interesting out there?
Seeing SOI, Real Scout, home buyer seminars in the chat. Can I borrow someone's dog? Yes, Jess, I have
well
2.
played, Jess.
You're
You
welcome.
can borrow a dog. There you go. Stephanie said Real Scout.
Yep.
Stephanie, you're gonna put that in there, and I'm gonna make you pop in here. Are you just plugging Real Scout because you're the teacher, or did you actually get a deal through Real Scouts, Stephanie? All right, where's Stephanie? Unmute her. I need to hear from her.
I'm here.
All right, are you just putting in a plug for Real Scout, or did you actually get a client?
No, here, let me start my video. Sorry, messy hair, don't care. I
Messy
I
hair,
sent
don't care.
I sent out home value to a past client. I had her on a home value for I don't know, maybe about 6 months now. And she reached out to me because she needs to sell her condo. So we're gonna work on it.
Absolutely great.
And if you had not been doing that home value, you think she reaches out to you?
I would hope so, but it definitely pushed the
envelope
meter over the mark.
That's it's good advice. You just never know. There's so many things that we just never know. They don't tell us that they don't know us. We just see it listed with somebody else someday. But if you're doing these,
Worse yet, finally do a postcard or a mail campaign and we get a return to sender no longer at this address.
right. Seen a lot of people doing ads for thank you, Stephanie, for Facebook ads. They're out there, client event vision boards. I've seen a lot of client events. September, October, November seems to be a very popular time for those. Get that nice fall weather.
I do love that pop-by idea, guys. Love it. To Jason's point, love on your people. Jason said, Sanders here said that he gave out 6 pies for Thanksgiving. Love on your people.
Yeah. It's just those connection points, guys. And you don't need to put a dollar value to them, but one time they sell a townhouse and buy a single family house in this market, it could be, 500,000 a night. All of a sudden that's, that could be $28,000, $30,000, $35,000, in commissions. So, you don't just staying connected. Sorry, I'm distracted. I read the chat there. Staying connected to clients can trigger those relationships that can lead to big stuff. Jared James said, a lot of you guys want top producer takeover, but I love this point, and I've made it different times, but we have more people in here right now, is, chart up, and it said the lifetime of a client that worked, what did he say, $1 million or $200,000? Or $200,000. They're worth $200,000 over the lifetime of their life with us. And that first commission, that first deal where they go through the contract and we close,
that first $10,000.
It's $10,000, $12,000, whatever it is. And we focus on that. We do a great job. We do the contract, we do the closing, and everything's great. We got our $10,000, but there was $100,000 over here on the chart, and we don't focus on that. We only look at, wait, I did a great job. They'll definitely call me back someday.
They won't.
But they won't unless you stay engaged with them. So that's what we really loved to talk about, is that, and I loved this idea he had,
the
that
lifetime of a
client.
Because once you close, it's now a prospective seller.
And he would never use the term client, because that puts him in a bucket that is no longer talking to future client, future buyer, future seller, prospective client,
and past people don't like them anymore.
Prospective referral, prospective lead source. So I think that those are the things that we need to start thinking of them that way. And I know that had a profound Casey and his team. Casey's shifting a lot of what they do. They're still going to do a great job on the front end,
right?
But really souping up the things they're going to do in the back end. They're doing a big party in Vienna, during Christmas,
on their
clients, a lot more things that they're really focused on. We see Dolly Nicholson looks like nurturing farming.
300 doors, monthly postcards. You go, Dolly.
The one that, and I preach in lunch and learns all the time, guys, is if you don't know how to do it yet, 4-page newsletter, modify it. Get at least 200 people on your client list. First, on your sphere of influence list. First of all, if you don't have 200 people on a spreadsheet, go get 200 people on a spreadsheet. Yes. You have to get them on how can you market your sphere of influence if you don't know who your sphere of influence is? Get your 200 people, get their address, send them a newsletter every month, or even every 2 months if you can't afford every month. But it's going to be 3 pages. The market. That 4th page, what's going on with you? What's going on with your family? What's going on in your world? They want to remember that you're a realtor in the world and that you've worked with them before. They should call you, but they also remember you, and they connected with you at some point. And we can't ask them to call us back in 6 or 7 years if we were distant from their life. Things we can do, but that newsletter, 200 people, is $300. It's $1.50 each in their mailbox. Beautiful. $3,600 a year if you do it every month. If you do it every other month, $100 a year. Guys, the average commission I just told buy and sell might be $25,000, $30,000. You get one person to call you. Stephanie got that one person to call to list her home off the market snapshot. That might be a $10,000, $15,000 commission. That pays for 10 years of newsletters, 5 years of newsletters. So that's one that I love, for sure. And I know that Lynn's put in the chat there. She's done some class on resources and newsletter on some of her things, but Any other thoughts on where they're getting those last clients from? Anything interesting that they've done or some
Well,
advice they've got out
I'm
there?
gonna pull out of the chat Coquito. I'm a fan of Coquito myself, and I think most people love that.
I didn't know what Coquito was, so I didn't say
It's
anything
a
about it.
Puerto Rican beverage of rum.
Oh, I won one of those at a White Elephant.
It's
I
like
won that.
eggnog-
I
you
got one of those at a White Elephant in Clarksville, I think.
Torres gave us some.
Oh, Ed
and
Torres
Ed
made some too. That was
some. Yeah, it was
fantastic.
fantastic. Yeah.
Oh, Ed, I need some more.
Hey,
of that
Ed, if you're
Coquito.
on, we're hoping you're like
Be at that Lakers party. Some
making
Coquito.
parties this favor to us. The other point too, guys, is look on the Nest. We've got all kinds of, like, it may be too late for you to say, look, I'm going to get Thanksgiving cards in the mail today. Well, that's great if you've got that time. There's New Year's cards, there's postcards, there's all kinds of things. Don't feel like it has to be the Thanksgiving card or the Christmas card. You could do National Happy Ice Cream Day card. Just touch your people and engage with them in a way.
Do you
that they
celebrate
feel
National
loved.
Ice Cream Day?
Yes, I do.
Oh, that's interesting.
We get ice cream. And
And
I don't feel about it.
we actually
all.
celebrated it here, didn't we? We had an
did.
ice cream bar actually, but
We did.
Tom Malinsky, let's get in there.
Mr. Malinsky, I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself.
Hold on, give me one there.
Oh.
Go ahead, Tom.
How are you?
We're
Good, how are you?
Good. I've
This
used
time-
this, I've used this for 35 years. You know, I give out 500 business cards every 3 months. And,
Wow.
you know, it's a simple thing, a business card, but on the back of the business card, I put on here, if you're serious about buying or selling, I'm serious about saving you money.
Oh,
And every place I go, 7-Elevens, dinner, waitresses, the kids' soccer, everywhere, and you'd be shocked how many people will keep this card, because whether they're selling today or next week or 2 years from now, because when they hear about, you know, selling or buying or saving money, it's a reason for them to keep this card. Since I've been working here, I go to a
love
little restaurant up the street, as you guys know. And I gave out probably 40, 50 of these cards. Well, I went in there about 10 times. Well, a husband and wife came up to me. He said, hey, look, we're going to call you. We want to sell our $500,000 house in Perry Hall. We want to buy a condo. And we're going to use you. We're not going to use other agents. We like you. So, I mean, this is a very cheap, inexpensive way to market.
I love
And
it.
also,
I love
you know,
it.
a lot of the stuff we're doing in real time in other places are our existing clients. We still have to build the base of new clients.
Right. All the time.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I love it, Tom. I love it. Just old fashioned. Give out those cards. You know, it ain't broke. It ain't broke.
What it is,
You know?
it's talking to people and engaging, not sitting there waiting for something to fall out of the sky in your lap.
Exactly.
Or sitting in the corner booth and with your
Right,
phone.
on your phone.
You know,
Sales is contact sport. Engage.
Exactly. And then, you know, that's how you're getting, you got to see the people. If you don't see the people, you know, we can use
you gotta
Zillow.
talk to
Yeah. You got to talk to
awesome.
them.
Awesome. Love it, Tom. Thanks for piping in. It's great advice.
Absolutely.
You're welcome.
We're gonna have a rush on business card orders. I have a feeling
Yeah, we
everybody's
are.
gonna give them. Awesome. That's good stuff. And welcome, Tom. And I know Tom is doing a great job. He's new broker manager in White Marsh. So great to have you, Tom.
Thank you.
All right. So Judy with some great advice, a rental client, you know,
Yep.
Sometimes we turn up our nose at rental clients, but they can be great
Absolutely.
referral sources. So
Great pipeline builder.
awesome stuff. So we're gonna close up here 10:15. We kept it pretty tight.
We did, guys, and we hope you like our new format. We'll work out some technical kinks next time, but we hope that you liked this.
Yeah, everybody said we couldn't keep it that tight, but we scheduled
You kept it pretty
despite
tight.
Sarah wanted to talk about Christmas every 3 minutes.
It's almost Christmas.
But I just want to, guys, obviously, you know, give us your feedback if you liked it,
Yes.
didn't like it, if there was something else that we can do better. Obviously, I know there was some connection times, and we'll work on those. But you know, thank you all so much. You guys doing out there in the market. You know, we're lifting up Samson Properties. We're going to get graphics out. Being #1 in the DMV in sales is amazing, and we're so thankful for you that have joined our family, telling others family, and just doing a great job. So thankful for you. Thankful for your title group. We can't do it without that support. The more you support Cardinal, the more we can continue to bring great things to you and build this company to be the #1 DMV. So Very
Hey, you
simple.
use a couple extra Cardinal deals and I will get a better internet connection.
There you go. But so thank you all so much.
Y'all, we hope you have a wonderful
Yes.
Thanksgiving with your family. Please, for granted, when you've got a few extra minutes to break bread with your family and loved ones, don't take that for granted, because we don't take it for granted this time with you. We do hope you have a wonderful holiday season, and we certainly hope to see you again soon.
And go Commanders, boo cow.
Don't forget to
Peace
give
out.
to all the children. Think of giving. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.